Hey everybody, welcome back. So recently a company reached out to me and asked me if I would like to test out their new model of a portable spot welder. They may have seen some of my previous videos rebuilding battery packs with a different brand, much smaller spot welder, and I had some pretty good luck with it, so I said yes, that I would really like to take a look at this. So this is the Riiai brand DIY spot welder made in China, and that's pretty much all it says on the box. This back here isn't of much value to us, I don't think. So let's pop over to Amazon and let's take a look at the listing over there. Maybe we'll get some more information and then we'll come back and we'll get it out of the package and take a look at it.
So here is its listing over at Amazon. There will be an affiliate link below. Thank you to everybody who uses my affiliate links. I really do appreciate it. This is the Riiai, and it's spelled R-I-I-A-I, 11,000 milliamp hour mini spot welder with 80 gears. And by 80 gears, they mean 80 power settings. And this has coarse and fine controls. The coarse controls take you from level 1 through level 8. And then there's the fine control, steps you through 10 steps in between each major one, if that makes sense. Comes with the main unit itself. It comes with the 2 welding pens, comes with a bag to put it all in, comes with a little diamond file to clean up your mistakes on the ends of the batteries, comes with 4 battery holders that hold 4 18650s each, comes with 5 meters of 0.1 nickel strip, and if you're just doing your own battery packs at home for your tools, that's a lot of nickel strip. And it comes with a USB charging cable. This can also be used as a power bank if you wish. It has both USB-C and standard USB ports on it. It has a little LED display on it. It gives you battery power level, charge indication, temperature inside, what gear or power level you're on, and the delay you have set. And the delay is in half a second increments from 0.5 all the way up to 5 seconds, and that is the time it takes, the time in between when you touch the pens to weld and when it actually welds. There are 3 buttons on it. The lowest button on it, if you hold it down, it turns it on or off. If you press it quickly and release, that changes the delay. The button above there, if you press it quickly, that changes the coarse gears 1 through 8. And if you press and hold it down, I found it switches between English and Chinese. And the button you can see up there on top, that changes the fine level. So, if you're at 7 and that's not enough and 8's too much, you press that and you get 7.1, 7.2, all the way up till you get to 8. And I can't see that does anything if you press it and hold it. So that's all what it comes with. I think it's time to get it out of the box, take a look at it, and do some welding with it and see how well it works.
Okay, before we go any further, let me say you probably saw the pop-up. This was provided to me for the purpose of this review. I do not have to send it back. So let's get it out of the box and let's take a look at it. So for full disclosure, I have already had it out of the box because I wanted to make sure it was charged, which was a good thing because it was stone dead, and it takes about 3 hours to charge this on a typical 2 amp, little phone charger brick. So you get one of their little bags. These companies love to provide these little velour-like bags, and inside the bag we have some holders for batteries just to keep, and these are for 18650s. They're just to keep your 18650s standing upright while you tack them. It's kind of nice they provide that. Not everybody has a 3D printer or wants to take a chunk of wood and start drilling holes in it. You have some pretty decent length pens. One of my complaints with my previous one was how short the pens were. Plus they plugged into the top, so it was constantly tipping over. These are kind of nice. These are supposed to be gold plated here on the ends. Don't know whether that's really gold or not, but I'll take their word for it. And then solid copper down here on this end. Those are nice. We have some nickel strip. I'm not sure what size this is. But I will measure it here as soon as we get everything out. We have a USB charging cable, and this is all USB-C. So USB-C charging cable, decent length one too, surprisingly enough. And we have a little diamond file. I didn't even see that. Little diamond file. That's kind of nice to smooth down. If you have to break a weld off, you can smooth it down. That's kind of nice. And the unit itself, and there's nothing else in the box, so let's get the box out of our way. And there is the unit itself. Kind of big. I mean, that's fine because it's got a big battery in it. Output voltage 4.2, input current 650 milliamps. Output current, USB output 5 volts at 2.4, Type C input 5 volts 2.1 max. Battery capacity 11,000 milliamp hours at 3.7 volts. And maker Shenzhen, I can't pronounce the rest of that. Anyway, we have the little OLED readout. We have 2 buttons here. We have where the pen plugs in, and we have a standard USB and a USB-C, and then we have a button here as well. So there's 3 buttons. There's a manual in there too. Let's get a quick look at it. LCD spot welder construction. I took a quick look at this one. I had it out before. It is slightly better than the typical Chinese to US translation, but you know, things like purposeful checking out and warm activate. So you know what, you can make sense out of it. It's not that hard, but it is not a great translation. It's not a bad one, but it's not a great one either. Anyway, so now that we got it all out of the package, let's turn it on and let's see what it does. One thing I do want to note about the manual is they do tell you in a couple of places not to press down really hard on the pens on the nickel strip. Like it says right here, the pressure applied to the nickel strip during welding must be moderate, and the contact surface between the nickel sheet and the battery should be free of oil bumps and oxidation. Practice on a surface and until you can't tear off the 1 millimeter nickel sheet. So they're saying that the nickel sheet that came with it's 1 millimeter, and that is what I found out when I got my other spot welder, is that not only do you need to come down, you need to minimize the contact area between the pens and the surface area of what's being welded. So just come into the 45 degree, come down like that, and don't press too hard, and they'll weld good. So let's turn it on and let's take a look at it. I'm going to zoom down a little bit so we hopefully can see this screen. It's got 3 buttons. The top one, I believe, is the power button. Then one of them sets the coarse adjustment, and one of them sets the fine adjustment, and one of them also changes the delay. And I also found out playing with it before that you can also change the language from English to Chinese. I didn't know what I did to do that, so it took me a while to change it back. But let's turn it on. I believe the top one is power. Is that correct? Do I remember that correctly? Nope, the bottom one is the power button. So long press it for 2 seconds. Let me clean that off a little bit. That's a pretty dirty screen. See if we can get that clean. Does it have a thing on it? Oh, it does. It has a piece of plastic over it. Oh, that's much better. Much better. All right, so let's long press this for 2 seconds to turn it on. And there it is. And you can say it now says, I'm trying to see it. I got a glare of light in my face. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, the gear is 2, and the delay is 2 seconds, and the battery's actually come down a bit since I charged it the other day. Now you press the top one, that changes the coarse gear. You see it changes gear 4, 5, 6, and then you press this one up here to find the fine setting. So 6.1, 6.2. I'm not sure that that's really necessary, but I mean, it's okay that it's there. And if I remember correctly, long pressing this one changed it to Chinese. There you go. So if you actually change it to Chinese, it's long press that top button. By top, I mean the top of the 2 here. And then pressing the power button quickly changes the delay. 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 5. So it goes to 5 seconds, 5, and then back to 0.5. I'm going to set it to 2, kind of not exactly in the middle, but somewhere up above the minimum. I don't think it's necessary. I think 5 is a little extreme. And let's plug it in and give it a try. Okay, so here is the nickel strip they provided. Did I say 1 millimeter before? I tend to do that a lot. What I meant to say was 0.1 millimeter, not 1 millimeter. Here's my cat. This isn't the best way to measure this kind of stuff, but so you can see it reads 0.11, 0.11. So it is 0.1 millimeter nickel strip. Now here is some 0.15 that I purchased a while back for my own use, and as you can see, it measures 0.14, 0.14. 0.15, so this is 1.5 millimeter strip. So we'll try it with both, because one of the questions I got a lot with the other one was, will it weld 0.15? So we're going to try it with both. So while we're waiting for the charge to top off, let's take a quick look at the welding pins that came with it. And for comparison, I've got the pins up for the black ones are for the BIFRC DH20 spot welder I've tested and used. Link in the cards above if you haven't seen that. Now that is a considerably less expensive unit, so you know, you do get what you pay for sometimes, and at least in the case of the pins, that seems to be true. So these, the BIFRC in black are 10 AWG wire, and the Riiai are 8 AWG, so they're a considerably thicker wire. Let's get one of each of them up here and maybe you can see it. Also, they both seem to be silicone, although the Riiai ones are considerably more, I don't know, considerably, they're more pliable. And you can see the size of the ends there. They are considerably longer and thicker. So you get what you pay for, at least in this regard. Now, one thing to note is the copper end here is not bare. There is clear silicone, clear shrink wrap over it. Don't know if you can see it in the pictures. I didn't see it at first. I thought, oh, I'm going to be burning myself and shocking myself with that. But no, it is got clear shrink wrap over it. Now, one of the problems I had with the BIFRC was these large, thick welding ends on it and the fact that they're ground completely flat. If you came down at a 90 degree, directly down at a 90 degree angle on what you were welding, and you pushed a little too hard, there was too much surface area, and you would not get a weld. It would just seem like it didn't do anything. You had to come down at a 45 degree angle and put the edge of it on it and not push hard to minimize that. This is considerably thinner, and it's rounded on the end, so hopefully there won't be such a steep learning curve into getting a good weld. But we will find out when we are fully charged. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on there, but we are now fully charged. No more blinky lights. Let's unplug it, and I have a short piece of the 0.1 nickel strip here, and then I have some of these longer pieces of the 0.15 back here. So let's turn it on. And they have a little bit of guidance on the Amazon page in the marketing for what gear you should be using for what thickness of material. Just for sport and amusement, I'm going to start at 1. So we are now set at gear 6.5, which is going to be way too much. So 7, 8, we're back to 1, and I have the delay, sorry if I had my head in it, I have the delay set at 2 seconds to start with. So, did he say, they don't say which should go where, and it shouldn't matter, so I'm just going to plug them like that. And I have not done this yet. This is my first weld with this, so we'll see how it goes. So, try and get this to lay on there nice, and we'll get 1 tack on it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, let's try that. Let me see how I can get you in here where you can see it, and I'll zoom down. how about that? Now all I have to do is figure out how to position it so you can see it. Let's try this here. We'll go there and here. Nothing. Okay, nothing. How come nothing? There it went. I'm just not waiting long enough. 2 seconds is too long. But let's see, that did connect it. Yep, that did connect it. 2 seconds is awful long. That seemed like more than 2 seconds. Let's try again. Oh, that's an awful long time. That seems like more than 2 to me. I'm going to go down to 1 because that seemed kind of silly. Up, that was the gear. Put the gear back at 1, and let's get delay down to 1 second, and let's try again. That's a little more reasonable. Let's see how well that welded it. Well, you know, that welded it pretty darn good. I certainly don't have any issues with that. Let's, now that I've mangled it all up, let's turn it up to 2. So I'm going to go up to 2. I'm going to leave it set, delay set at 1. Edge of that nickel strip sharp. I just cut myself with it, but we won't let that stop us, will we? So here we go on gear number 2. That welded it nice too. Let's try it at a slightly different angle. Yeah, these smaller diameter rounded tips don't have quite the learning curve those fatter flat ones did from the BIFRC. Let's try it again. You know what? Let's go up to 3. There's gear number 3. I know you can't see the screen, but take my word for it, that is gear number 3. Okay, that's getting to be hot enough to almost punch through that 0.1 strip. Let's try it again here. Yeah, that's pretty hot for the 1.0 strip. I don't think I'd want to go much higher than that with this. That is definitely. See, you seeing that there? Let me raise that up. Down here was 1, and it's certainly attached. And then I did some gear number 2 here, and one of these is gear 2, and then this is gear number 3, and it's pretty hot. Let's see if we can get it off of there. I tell you what, even on 1, that was good enough. That's pretty darn good. I have no issues with that at all. Yeah, okay, those all welded it. I mean, I liked it on 3. I think that was maybe borderline too hot. Let's take the little file they gave us and let's smooth that down and try again. We'll go up until it's definitely too hot, and then we'll try the thicker strip. Okay, let's get another strip of the 0.1, and then we'll move up to the 0.15. But I want to go until it's definitely too hot. So we're on gear 3 there. Now I'm on gear 4. You can see it on gear 4. And let's give this a whirl. Gear number 4, here we go. Yeah, it's definitely borderline too hot, I think. Definitely welding it good though. Let's go up one more. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? I burn a hole in something, right? All right. Move that back where I'm sure you can see it. And we're now on gear 5. I wish I had some 2mm strip, or excuse me, 0.2mm strip, because they do say it will do it. That was gear 5. Let's go up one more. Gear 6. I think that one might have almost burned through, but nonetheless, gear 7. You see it? Gear 7. Pins are getting a little warm. Not hot yet, but they're warm. And just for sport and amusement, let's max it out at gear 8 for these last two. Gear 8. Oh yeah, that was that definitely burned through. Okay, so let's yank that apart, or even better, let's just flip it over. Let's flip it over and let's try the thicker stuff, the 0.15 on the bottom. And I don't think I'm going to start with 1.0 on this. Let's go down to 4. So gear 4. We are now on gear 4. And our temperature is still only 30°C, so I mean that's basically what it is in this room. Delay is 1 second. I am going to run the delay down to 0.5 because I don't need the delay to be that long. Okay, 1.5 nickel strip, gear 4. It's on there solid. I got no complaints about that. Let's go up to 6. Okay. And gear 6. Okay, sorry, dropped that there, but that definitely welded that. Maybe I could find something to prop that up with so it didn't fall over all the time. Here, let's fold these. That should help a little bit anyway. Okay. All right, let's go to gear 7 on the 0.15 strip. Yeah, this is really not requiring any learning curve at all. Just don't press really hard. Just press just enough to get the nickel strip against the battery, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to press hard. And it fell over again. Oh well. And let's go to gear 8. I like gear 8. Gear 8 makes me happy. Very nice. Very nice. Just for fun, let's try gear. I want to try some of the middle gears, so let's try gear 7. Whoops, that's the delay. I want to get the delay back. Kind of liked 1 second better than 0.5, so I'm going to go to 1. Oh, and you know what? Let me show you what the delay all the way max at 5 seconds looks like. Okay, delay at 5 seconds, and the gear we're going to do Come on now. I missed it again. Delay at 5 seconds, and we're going to do gear at, let's do gear 6.5. All right, let me show it to you. Delay is at 5 seconds, gear is 6.5. I think this delay is going to make me nuts. I'm not sure why anybody would want to use a delay that long, although I'm sure there's probably a reason. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that was about 5 seconds. Honestly, I don't know why you would want to do that, but who knows, maybe there's a reason. Let's try delay, not delay, I'm going to go back to delay 1.1 second, and I'm going to run my gear to 7.6. So 1 second and 7.6, and let's finish welding this out. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set these to one side so they don't touch. And I don't want to cut myself again, so they're all welded. None of those came apart. This is really nice. This didn't have any of the learning curve that I had with the previous one. And I'm guessing it's two reasons. One, I think it's got more power, and I think the pins are nicer made. And I think that's the whole difference right there. That was really nice. That worked out very, very nicely. My temperature, if you can see, is only 31°C, and I am still on full battery level strength. So I'm going to clean these off, and I'm going to do it again one more time. I'll be right back. Okay, I finally tore all that strip off, and you can see I had to mangle it up. I had to mangle it up pretty badly to get it to come off. It was welded on there surprisingly well, and while I do have some experience, I have gone through a learning curve with this with the other one. I wasn't expecting it to be this easy right off the bat. I was figuring I was going to have to once again relearn how to position the welding tips, but I didn't have to. So I've got it set at gear 4, delay 1 second. It's still 31°C. I've got a chunk of the 0.1 strip and a piece of the 1.5. Let's go across it. Now these are, I've filed these down, but they're getting pretty bumpy, so let's go ahead and let's just do this on both one side. I'm just going to do the whole thing at gear 4 because I think that was perfectly fine. And let me get this so you can see it, and we'll weld this up real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the thing. We'll see if we like it or if we don't like it, but I think it's pretty apparent that we already like it because it seems to work really well. Get this back where you can see it. And I'm kind of struggling a bit to make sure that I get an angle where you can see it and I get it welded and I can see it too to weld it. Okay, here we go. Power level 4. And I'm going to come down to the end just to keep it from moving around on me. There we go. A little bit of delay makes it nice so you can position it, but I think at least for me, 1 second is more than sufficient. And there we go. All that's welded. Let me set the pins down and let's flip it over. And let's do the thicker strip. Can't be this easy, can it? Is it supposed to be this easy? I don't think so. All right, here is the thicker 0.15 strip. We are still on gear 4 with a 1-second delay. We're at 31C and the battery still says it is fully charged. What's going on? There we go. And I'm going to come down here to the end so that I don't have it going all over the place on me. All right, there's all that welded up. Let's take a quick look at the temperature on it. The temperature says it's 32C. Battery still shows fully charged. That is a big battery. I haven't tested it to see that it's really 11,000 milliamps, but that is a big battery. Let me power it off so I don't have any accidents. Hold for 2 seconds. Oh, nope, I'm sorry, hold for that one for 2 seconds, puts it into Chinese. Okay, no problem. It's that one you hold for 2 seconds. They could have marked those. It would have been nice if there had been marking on there, but you know what? That's fine. Okay, let me clean this up a bit and let's come back and talk about it. Okay, so I think it's fairly apparent that I like this. It worked really, really well right from the beginning. There was no learning curve, no fooling around. The little screen, even though it is really small, it lets you know exactly what's going on, exactly what your gear is, exactly what the temperature is, the battery charge. You don't have to interpret a bunch of different combinations of lights. And it worked great right off the bat. The pins it comes with are really, really nice. Very heavy wire gauge. The tips are really, really nice. You don't have to worry about getting it right on an edge and things like that because they're nicely rounded. And it comes with 5 meters of nickel strip, which is enough to do a lot of battery packs if you think about it. It comes with little battery holders to hold your batteries upright for you. And I don't know what the heck more you would need to start fixing and doing your own, rebuilding your own battery packs. So I highly recommend this. It works really nice. It's got a great big battery, so if you also want to use it as a power bank, you certainly can. It can do that. And man, you weld a lot of battery packs with an 11,000 milliamp hour charger. And I guess that's it. I really like it. I recommend it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Use my affiliate links and buy a lot of these. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.